Hello, it's John Heaton, and I'm going to review today an album by a band called Supertramp, who were very big in the late 70s, early 80s. I had two requests for Supertramp from Colin Ward and Dionisio D'Aguilar, both old school friends of mine. How you doing, guys? So I think when I was at school with Colin, we hadn't discovered Supertramp, but certainly Dionisio and I in the late 70s got into Supertramp in a big way, around about the time when Breakfast in America came out. But this album is the previous album from 1977, and it's right in the middle of a golden period for the band, which lasted from Crime of the Century at least through to Breakfast in America. Famous Last Words was also pretty decent. So at the time when Roger Hodgson was obviously in the band, he left in 1984. Just want to say a word about the cover. It's a brilliant cover. They actually lugged a piano all the way up the mountain in Colorado and took this brilliant picture. And then the back cover. It's one of a sequence of brilliant Supertramp album covers. And this album was recorded in Caribou Ranch in Colorado, which is also the same studio as Elton John recorded his Caribou album, and where Badfinger recorded their Wish You Were Here album, both in 1974, so about 3 years before this one. I'll go through the tracks now. Starts off with Give a Little Bit, which is a wonderful single, acoustic song from Roger, spiritual words. It's a great favourite whenever he does concerts, or whenever Supertramp did concerts, and it's one of my all-time favourite Supertramp songs. From Lover Boy, the second song from Rick, the weakest one on the album. It's not bad, but it goes on a little too long, and it's a bit meandering. It's a piano track, half decent tune, but as I say, probably the weak link on the album. The title track is next, and it's another wonderful Roger track, 12-string acoustic guitar I think he uses on this. Great build-up, great production. One thing I'll say about Supertramp is they know how to, they're all masters of their own instruments, and when they're together playing a song like this, it's great. The bass playing from Dougie Thompson, the drumming from Bob C. Benberg, and the keyboard work from Rick Davis, guitar from Roger Hodgson. They just go really well together. So the next track is Downstream, which is a piano-based song from Rick, which is gorgeous. I learned how to play this one myself. It's a pretty nice one to play, and I love this one to bits. Great. Then turning over to side two, it starts off with Babaji. And it's a good song, and especially the first minute and a half is great. But it probably the last couple of minutes it loses a bit of interest for me, with the backing vocals getting a little bit annoying towards the end. So From Now On is the next track, and this is the back cover, by the way. From Now On is the next track, and it's faultless. It's great. It's Rick Davis piano track. With some nice instrumentation again from the band. This is actually a trickier one to play on the piano. I've tried it. I love the chanting at the end. Guess we'll always have to be living in a fantasy. Actually, I couldn't understand why when they did that live they didn't get the crowd to do those responses, because when they do it live, Rick does the vocal and then Roger does the response line, but I always thought that they should get 50,000 people at Wembley to do the responses. So the last track is Fool's Overture, another long track, but this one does not go on too long. It's a piano-based track from Roger, gorgeous melody, and pretty hilarious mention of Winston Churchill at the end there, or in the middle. I love it. So I'm going to show you the inside sleeve. There's Rick Davis in his cool Crisis What Crisis t-shirt. It's Roger and the drummer. The label, standard A&M label. And then the songbook I have here has some interesting alternative pictures. Actually, some outtakes from the cover session, which is pretty nice to have. So I give this album easily a 10 out of 10. It's brilliant, even though Loverboy is not up there. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.